Hey, fellow gun lovers, picture this. It's 2025, and you're out there in America's wild backyard, heart pounding as you line up the shot. Every hunter is obsessing over the same damn thing. What's that one caliber that handles it all? Whitetail sneaking through Midwest thickets, monster elk bugling in the Rockies, or even a grizzly giving you the stink eye up north. You need something dead-on accurate, with real knockdown power, ammo you can grab anywhere without selling a kidney, and trusted by weekend warriors and hardcore pros alike. If life handed you just one round to own forever, what would it be? We're breaking down the ultimate all-arounders in this countdown, and yeah, the king might catch you off guard. Stick with me, we're diving deep into ballistics, real field punch, and those little quirks that make or break a hunt. Loving the intel? Smash that like button and subscribe to Survival Gear Showcase for more no BS gear talk that'll keep your safe stuffed and your freezer full. Number 6. 30-30 Winchester. Alright, let's kick this off at number 6 with a true classic, the 30-30 Winchester. This bad boy rolled out back in 1895, the first smokeless powder cartridge made for sporting rifles, and it's been filling tags and freezers ever since. We're talking a 308-inch bullet, usually 150 to 170 grains, pushing out at around 2,200 to 2,500 feet per second from the muzzle. That gives you about 1,800 to 2,000 foot-pounds of energy right out of the gate, plenty to drop deer clean in their tracks. What makes the 30-30 Winchester shine is in tight, brushy woods where shots come fast and close, say under 150 yards. It's a brush-bucking beast. That slower, heavier bullet punches through twigs without deflecting like faster rounds might. You'll hear stories from old-timers where a well-placed 170-grain soft point through the boiler room folds a buck like a cheap lawn chair at 100 yards. With modern lever evolution ammo, those polymer-tipped bullets stretch it out to 200 yards ethically, flattening the trajectory a bit and staying tube mag safe for lever guns. We're talking drops of maybe 8 inches at 200 yards with a 150-grain load, zeroed at 100 manageable if you know your holdovers. Pair it with iconic levers like the Winchester Model 94 or Marlin 336, and you've got a rifle that's light, quick to shoulder, and swings like a dream in thick cover. Follow-up shots? Lightning-fast cock on the lever down, and you're back on target before the echo fades. Recoil's a gentle nudge, perfect for new shooters or anyone who doesn't want their shoulder rearranged after a day at the range. Ammo's everywhere, cheap 2 soft points for hunting, round nose for tradition, or those Hornady flex tips for better ballistics. Pros: super low recoil for all-day comfort, lightning handling in dense stuff, affordable and plentiful ammo, deadly on deer with good placement. It's taken elk too close and think 75 yards on a broadside bull, with a heavy bonded bullet penetrating deep. Cons: that rainbow arc means it drops like a rock past 200 yards. Not your open plains sniper. Less energy than Magnums for bigger beasts at distance, and it's overkill or underkill if you're poking holes at 400 yards. Still, for eastern woods whitetail or southern hogs crashing through palmettos, this grandpa's gun gets it done without fuss. It's not flashy, but it'll put meat on the table season after season. Number 5. 270 Winchester. Sliding into number 5, we've got the 270 Winchester, a flat-shooting legend since the 1920 seconds that's still turning heads. Neck down from the 30-06 case, it fires a 277-inch bullet, typically 130 to 150 grains, screaming out at around 3,000 feet per second with a 130-grainer. That translates to laser-like trajectories, 0 at 200 yards, and you're only dropping about 7 inches at 300, maybe 20 at 400. Energy? Starts at 2,700 foot-pounds and holds over 1,500 at 300 yards. Perfect for ringing steel or dropping pronghorn across a bean field. This round excels on medium game and open country deer, antelope, sheep where you might stretch to 400 yards. Picture glassing a muley on a ridge, wind in your face. Dial in the drop, squeeze, and watch it pile up without the guesswork. Bullet options abound. Soft points for quick expansion on vitals, ballistic tips for wind-bucking stability, or bonded cores for elk if you're pushing it. Rifles, bolt actions from Winchester, Remington, or Ruger. Think Model 70 or American Series, accurate as a surgeon and reliable in rain or dust. Recoil's mild, like a firm pat on the back, so it's forgiving for recoil-shy folks or kids stepping up. You'll chat with guides who swear by it for Western hunts. One guy dropped an antelope at 350 yards with a 130-grain Nosler partition clean lung shot, barely a twitch. Ammo's everywhere. Not dirt cheap, but fair. Pros: that flat path for long pokes. Moderate kick. Versatile loads for varmint to elk at sane ranges. Widely available. Cons: not a hammer for grizzlies or moose beyond 300. It lacks the oomph of heavier calibers. Ammo runs pricier than .308, and for super close brush bucks, it's a bit zippy. But man, in big sky country, the 270 Winchester makes you feel like a sharpshooter without needing a PhD in ballistics. Number 4. 7mm Remington Magnum. Now at number 4, crank it up with the 7mm Remington Magnum, a 1,960 seconds powerhouse that's all about reach and precision. This belts out a 284-inch bullet, 140 to 175 grains, at 2,900 to 3,100 feet per second. Energy kicks off near 3,000 foot-pounds, hanging on to 1,800 plus at 400 yards with a trajectory flatter than Kansas. Drop maybe 6 inches at 300 yards, 25 at 500 zeroed, right? It's built for big stuff over distance. Elk in timberline meadows, moose crashing alders, or caribou on the tundra. Bonded bullets or partitions drive deep, expanding reliably without grenading. Rifles like Remington 700 or Savage bolt action soak up the recoil, which we'll get to, and deliver sub-MOA groups if you do your part. Visualize a high country elk hunt. Spot a 6x6 at 450 yards, hold a tad high, and thump, he staggers 50 yards and tips over. Pros: killer long-range accuracy, slays large game, clean bullet choices for any scenario. High velocity for flat shots. Cons: that recoil bites hard like a mule kick if you're not braced tough on newbies or light builds. Ammo's spendy and scarcer than basics, plus it's overkill on close whitetail, potentially wasting meat. Still, for serious mountain or plains pursuits where yards matter, the 7mm Remington Magnum earns its spot without apology. Number 3. 308 Winchester. Dropping to number 3, meet the 308 Winchester, the ultimate workhorse that's been hauling since the 1,950 seconds. This caliber spits a 308-inch bullet, 150 to 180 grains, at 2,600 to 2,800 feet per second, packing 2,500 foot-pounds of smack right at the muzzle. It holds over 1,500 foot-pounds at 300 yards with a drop of about 10 inches zeroed at 200, predictable and pointable for real-world hunts. Think of it as the Swiss Army knife of calibers. Deer in the hardwood bottoms, hogs rooting up soybean fields, even elk inside 250 yards if you pick your shots. That NATO pedigree means ammo's stacked deep in every Walmart and gun shop, soft points for expansion. Match grade for precision punches, or FMJs if you're prepping. Rifles? Everywhere Remington 700. Ruger American bolt guns, or AR-10 semis for rapid follow-ups on bore packs. Swing one in the woods, and it shoulders like it was born there. Recoil's a polite shove. Way tamer than Magnums, so you stay on the scope glass for that second crack if needed. You'll see buddies clean out a sounder at 150 yards, double lunging sows left and right without flinching. Energy transfer is spot on for medium game. A 165-grain ELDX mushroom's perfect, zipping through shoulders without excessive meat damage. Pros: dirt cheap, everywhere ammo keeps you shooting. Balanced kick for all-day glassing. Versatile from brush to fields. Handles hogs like a champ, deep penetration on tough hides. Cons: starts sagging past 350 yards. Not the flattest for prairie dogs at 500. Lacks magnum wallop for moose at distance or grizzlies head-on. But for 90% of American hunts, whitetails, black bears, muleys, the 308, Winchester nails it without drama or wallet pain. It's the caliber you grab when reliability trumps range bragging rights. Number 2. 300 Winchester Magnum. Climbing to number 2. The 300 Winchester Magnum roars in a 1960 beast mode caliber for when enough ain't enough. This fires 308-inch heavies, 165 to 200 grains, at blistering 2,900 to 3,200 feet per second, unleashing 3,500 plus foot-pounds that thunder downrange. 0 at 300 yards, and you're looking at 15-inch drop at 500, still hauling 2,000 foot-pounds to cave-in vitals on the far side. Built for the heavies. Elk bulls weaving through lodgepole, moose wading blackwater, or black bears bluff-charging thickets. Belted case means massive pressure for velocity that laughs at wind and distance. Load up Nosler Accubonds for controlled expansion or Barnes TSX for bone-crunching solids. Either way, it penetrates like a freight train. Rifles such as the Winchester Model 70 or Browning X-Bolt in this caliber group tight, often sub-half MOA with handloads. Imagine a coastal brown bear at 400 yards across a muskeg, dial the turrets, break the trigger, and watch 200 grains slam home, anchoring him before he closes. Pros: monstrous stopping power flattens big threats. Long-range thumper with retained smash. Ammo galore from bargain to premium. Cons: recoil's a shoulder-pummeling sledge, not for kids or flinchers. You'll feel every round. Pricey loads add up quick, and it's meat wrecker overkill on does at 50 yards. Scope your Magnum rifle heavy duty to tame the jump. For trophy Western slams or Alaska brown bear backups, though, nothing touches the 300 Winchester Magnum's authority. Number 1. 3006 Springfield. Crowning number 1, the 3006 Springfield, the undisputed GOAT of American hunting calibers since 1906. This legend launches 308-inch bullets, 150 to 220 grains, at 2,700 to 3,000 feet per second, starting with 2,800 foot-pounds and clinging to 1,600 at 400 yards. Trajectory solid. 9-inch drop at 300, 0 to 200, ethical medicine for deer to daggers. It owns North America. Whitetails in alder jungles, elk on alpine benches, moose in the boreal, grizzlies in berry patches, all inside 400 yards with the right pill. Ammo ocean deep. Light 125 grain for coyotes, 180 grain partitions for elk steaks, heavies for Alaskan heavies. Winchester Model 72nd Savage 110 seconds bolt actions built like tanks, accurate as your granddad's stories. Recoil stout but fair, brace up, and it rewards with confidence. You'll punch paper to 600 and drop whitetails at 350? That 165 grain Sierra Game King sips coffee through ribs? Pros: does everything from varmints to brown bears, ammo cheaper and everywhere versus Magnums, century proven in every condition. Cons: bit more kick than 308, arcs more than speed demons past 450. Heavier rifles sometimes. But if you're stuck with one caliber forever, the 3006 Springfield is your lifetime partner. Versatile, affordable, unbreakable. It's not hype, it's history in every case. There you have it, folks, your top 6 calibers for conquering America's wilds. The 3006 Springfield reigns supreme as the ultimate do-it-all king, but each one's a field-proven champ for your neck of the woods. From brush-busting 3030 to Magnum Thunder, pick what matches your hunts. Which one's locked in your safe? Drop it in the comments below. Let's hear your takes. Smash that like if this breakdown lit a fire, and subscribe to Survival Gear Showcase for more no BS gear deep dives, load data, and hunt-ready reviews. Stay armed, stay safe, and fill that tag.